If you drive a car in the United Kingdom and you have not done this one specific thing yet, you could be looking at a fine of £100, and the deadline is April 10th, not April 10th of next year. April 10th coming up right now. Most drivers have no idea this rule even exists, and the ones who do know about it often assume someone will remind them or that enforcement won't actually happen. They are wrong on both counts. This is real. This is active, and traffic officers, along with automated enforcement systems, are already flagging vehicles. The worst part is that this is one of the easiest things in the world to fix. It takes minutes. It costs nothing in most cases, and once it's done, you have complete peace of mind. But if you miss the deadline, that peace of mind gets replaced with a fine landing on your doormat. Stay right here because I am going to tell you exactly what this rule is, exactly what you need to do, and exactly how to protect yourself before April 10th. Welcome to How to Get a UK Driving License. Step by step, the channel built specifically for UK drivers who want to stay informed, stay legal, and stay ahead of every rule, regulation, and update that affects them on British roads. If you are new to this channel, hit subscribe right now and turn on your notifications because we cover exactly this kind of content: the deadlines, the law changes, the DVLA updates, and the rules that can cost you money if you miss them. Today's video is urgent, it is time sensitive, and it applies to almost every single person watching this right now, so let's get straight into it. The rule in question relates to your vehicle's MOT and road tax status as it connects to the updated DVLA digital record verification requirement and the broader enforcement push happening across the UK, heading into the new compliance window opening after April 10th. Let's break this down properly so you understand not just what to do, but why this matters, and why enforcement has become significantly more active in 2025 and into 2026. The Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency has been rolling out and enforcing its digital compliance framework more aggressively than at any previous point. Automatic number plate recognition cameras, which most people know as ANPR cameras, are now so widespread across UK roads, motorways, car parks, and city centers that virtually every journey you take will see your plate read at least once. These cameras are not just looking for stolen vehicles or criminals. They are cross-referencing every plate they scan against the DVLA's central database in real time. What that database is checking includes your vehicle's tax status, your MOT validity, your insurance status, and increasingly, whether your registered keeper details are accurate and current. Here is where the fine comes in. Under the Vehicle Excise Duty Regulations and the Continuous Insurance Enforcement Framework, if your vehicle appears on the road, or in some cases is simply parked on a public road, without valid road tax, without a current MOT where required, or without active insurance on record, you are liable for an automatic fixed penalty notice. For road tax violations specifically, the fixed penalty is £100 if paid promptly. If you ignore it or it escalates, that figure rises considerably and can lead to your vehicle being clamped or seized. For insurance violations, the penalties are even more severe. A fixed penalty of £300 and 6 points on your license at the minimum, with the possibility of a court summons for repeat or serious cases. Now, the April 10th deadline specifically relates to a tightening of the enforcement cycle that DVLA and associated enforcement bodies run quarterly. Vehicles that have been flagged during the monitoring period are processed, and notices are issued in batches following these quarterly review points. April 10th represents one of those key processing points for the current cycle. If your vehicle has been running with lapsed tax, an expired MOT, or a gap in insurance coverage during this period, the notice generation process begins after this date. Sorting your compliance before April 10th means your record appears clean when that processing cycle runs. Waiting until after means you are already inside the enforcement window. Let's go through each element you need to check right now, starting with road tax. Checking and renewing your vehicle tax in the UK has never been easier, and there is absolutely no excuse for driving an untaxed vehicle in 2026 because the entire process can be completed online in under 5 minutes. Go to the GOV UK website, navigate to the vehicle tax section, and enter your vehicle registration number and your V5C logbook reference number. The system will show you your current tax status and allow you to renew immediately using a debit or credit card. Tax can be paid as a single annual payment, a 6-month payment, or monthly by direct debit. If you set up the monthly direct debit option, your tax renews automatically and you never have to think about this again. The key thing to understand is that the old system of displaying a paper tax disc was abolished years ago. There is nothing to display in your windscreen anymore. Your tax status exists entirely in the DVLA digital record. This means many drivers genuinely do not realize their tax has lapsed because there is no physical reminder. Check it today, right after this video. It takes 4 minutes. Now let's talk about your MOT. Your MOT certificate has an expiry date printed on it, and that date is the legal boundary of your vehicle's certified roadworthiness. Driving a vehicle with an expired MOT, with the exception of driving it directly to a pre-booked MOT test, is illegal and will result in a fine of up to £1,000, as well as potentially invalidating your insurance. Your MOT status is also visible on the GOV UK Vehicle Inquiry Service using your registration number. If your MOT expired recently or is expiring within the next few weeks, book your test immediately. Most garages and MOT testing centers are currently booking up quickly due to the volume of vehicles coming in ahead of this enforcement window, so do not leave it until the last possible moment. An MOT test for most standard passenger vehicles costs between £40 and £60 at most reputable garages and takes approximately 45 minutes to an hour for the inspection. Insurance is the third pillar of this compliance check, and arguably the most important one legally. The continuous insurance enforcement system means that every registered vehicle in the UK must be insured at all times unless it has a valid statutory off-road notification, known as a SORN, registered with the DVLA. It is not enough to have insurance that covers you as a driver. The specific vehicle you are driving must itself have active insurance on record. If you have recently changed vehicles, changed insurance providers, or had a policy lapse even briefly due to a payment failure, your vehicle may be showing as uninsured in the Motor Insurance Database. This database is what ANPR cameras cross-reference. If your plate comes back uninsured, a notice is generated automatically. Check your insurance policy documents today. Confirm the exact vehicle registration listed on your policy matches the car you are driving, and verify that your payment is up to date and your policy is active. If you are unsure, call your insurer directly and ask them to confirm your vehicle is showing as insured on the Motor Insurance Database. There is one more thing every driver in the UK needs to check before April 10th, and it is the one that catches people most off guard: your registered keeper details on the V5C logbook. If you have moved house and not updated your address with the DVLA, you are in breach of your legal obligation as a registered keeper. More practically, any correspondence from the DVLA, including fine notices, renewal reminders, or compliance letters, will be going to your old address. You will not receive them. But ignorance of a notice is not a legal defense. The fine still stands, the deadline still passes, and the enforcement action still proceeds. Updating your address on the V5C is free and can be done online through gov.uk in minutes. If you have moved at any point in the last few years and haven't updated your DVLA records, do it today. Let's also address something that trips up a significant number of drivers: vehicles that are parked on a public road but not being driven. Many people assume that if the car is just sitting on the street and not being used, the rules don't apply. They are wrong. Under UK law, a vehicle parked on any public road must have valid road tax and valid insurance unless it has a SORN registered. A SORN declaration tells the DVLA that your vehicle is off the road, stored on private land, not being driven, not parked on public roads, If your vehicle is sitting outside your house on a public street with lapsed tax, it can be ticketed and clamped regardless of whether you've driven it recently. If you have a vehicle you're not currently using, either sort the tax and insurance or register a SORN immediately. The bottom line here is simple. The DVLA's systems are more connected, more automated, and more actively enforced than they have ever been before. ANPR cameras read millions of plates every single day. Cross-referencing happens in real time. The days of driving around with lapsed documents and assuming you won't be caught are genuinely over. April 10th is the trigger point for the current enforcement cycle, and the time to act is right now, today, before that date arrives. How to get a UK driving license. Step-by-step exists to make sure you always have the information you need before it becomes a problem. If this video helped you or reminded you to check something you hadn't thought about, please give it a like right now, share it with every UK driver you know, and subscribe to this channel so you never miss an update that could protect your license and your wallet. Leave a comment below telling me whether your tax, MOT, and insurance are all up to date. And if you found something that needed sorting after watching this, I definitely want to hear about it. Stay legal, stay informed, and I will see you in the next video.